Hey there again, guys. This is Ice9 and another Madden Mobile video. Just got Gronk and Von Miller on my team, and I'm going to start things out with a little head-to-head Hall of Game gameplay here. And Jesus Loves You played me, and let's see what he tried to do. Mixing it up pretty well. Looks like a pretty good player. Just didn't make it work. Anybody who plays Hall of Fame or all Madden knows that it's not easy at all. So let's play him back and see how I do. And it is harder this year to play this game than it is last year because of game plans and the different things. You just never know. You can't spam plays anymore. It doesn't particularly work, so you've got to be selective on what you run. Looks like this is countered. And sure is. And next I am going to try, even though it's more frequently countered these days, and looks like it is on this play. Nope. Strong PA tight end corner. So I got a good little gainer out of that. And that play is countered a lot. Basically how this guy's stopping all runs, it looks like. But basically with strong play action tight end corner, one of the guys on the right side is going to be open. That wide receiver kind of running that long hitch. He's a lot of times he's double covered because there's nobody else over there. But with everything happening, there's the wide receiver one runs a go pattern. Excuse me. Tight end runs kind of a corner pattern, and then basically the outlet man is the fullback. So if somebody plays underneath the tight end and they're playing underneath, usually that's the guy who take the fullback. So one of the two will be open depending. Usually I bullet the pass or do almost a bullet, not a lot of arc on it. So that's basically what I do. Okay, so this guy is really heavy run counter. So let's see. Oop. Not only run counter though, apparently. Okay. And 3rd and 7. Let's try motion Y stick. That is not countered. Quick release. And truck one guy with Gronk. Alright, and next play I'm going to try here. And try a couple play action plays that looks like it might be countered. It's not. Better get rid of that in a hurry though. And that was not a great way to get yardage, but got a little bit. I'm going to flip this. Actually, Brendan told me about this play, and pretty good little gainer. And I couldn't truck him because he weighs 192 pounds. Okay, that makes sense. I think Gronk weighs more than that, but anyways. Alright, let's see what else we kind of have here. I like to kind of get some yards. Is this counter too? Really? No, he just jumped the play. Shoot. Kind of a tough short yardage type of situation or goal line type of situation. That can be difficult. I'm going to try cross up. And that looks countered from here, but we'll see. Yep, it's countered. And what else should we kind of try here? And I'm definitely within field goal range, so I don't want to turn it over. And let me kind of look through the playbook here and kind of see what we have going. So Brennan in my league, who's an awesome player, was telling me about this, that one play that I ran, this spread FL drag, and you flip the play and throw it to the tight end when he was going outside, which is what I did. Um, what is real safe? And that's what I'm going to do, because something like that, just because with this individual, they're running so many pass counters. Oh, almost got it, but I'm going to take the 3 in that situation. And could have probably made it, but I'm going to take the 3 points in that situation. All right, so that is that drive against Jesus Loves You. I love that name. It's pretty funny. So real run heavy type of defense, and we could kind of see how we're doing here. Taking field goals here and there. King Kobe there wasn't able to score against him, but one of the things about this game this year, it's more difficult. And I think, I'm not sure what interest is this year. I talked to other leagues, including in the DEA chat, some really good leagues in there, and everybody was kind of complaining in there. Some people were, that it's really hard to recruit this year, that they're not getting as many players and as much interest as last year. And I think there's a couple things that go along with that. First of all, it's the third year of the game, and although it has definitely changed, it hasn't changed that much. So I imagine that a lot of people are probably pretty sick of it. Honestly, if it wasn't for league play and playing in a league and being a commissioner of a league, I probably wouldn't be playing this game anymore. It's not that fun. There's only so much you could do. Why build a team if you're not really going to compete? So, but that's one of the reasons that I think is the repetitiveness, or that the game hasn't changed that much. There's only so much you could do with it. I think another reason that a lot of people have quit is because it's more difficult this year, and there's no doubt about it. As far as I'm concerned, this game is more difficult than last year, and there's a couple of reasons why that is. And the first one is game plans. And I know I've talked about that before, but we're going to talk about it again. And just as an example, so I took on a lower overall. This is a really good league that we're playing. Actually, not too bad at all. And with these guys here, where's the guy that I play? Chicago wins. So he put up 16 against me, and I put up 14 against him. And we could kind of see here. Here, I'm not going to show off his drives to show what works and what doesn't. But so, okay, I tried running dive weak, and it was countered. Ran spot. Try to mix in some pass and run. Ran strong HB blast right there. It wasn't countered, so I got 2 yards out of it, got a first down, and then Y stick, and then the conversion. Same play. This was strong HB blast. I tried it the next drive, and so David Johnson fumbles and it gets returned. So that's kind of the thing when somebody runs and there's these percentage chances that a play is going to be countered. And, cancel. Maybe he's got a specific play action counter to that. And then the toss didn't work, whatever. But in any case, because of that, it makes it more difficult. If you try to repeat plays, especially more than 2 times, it's usually going to counter you. If you run one play, just as we saw with me, if you could run one play and then the next drive say, okay, that play wasn't counted the last time. Well, that doesn't mean that it's necessarily going to work. It might be countered anyways. So there's just more that goes into it. And one of the things about it, and I hear complaints about this from other people when it comes to game plans, is that is essentially one more way that EA has made it pay to play type of game. Game plans are as important as anything in this game. And once you get your team up to a certain level, they're not going to be able to break the counters. One thing about it is still with high 80s and low 90s defenses, you can break a big play on like a countered dive weak or a countered HB strong blast. At a certain point, though, it's not possible anymore. The defenses get too good, so you're not going to be able to do that anymore. But one of the things, anyways, one of the things about that is the pay to play aspect of the game now. Game plans replacing a counter system that was used last year. Basically, you had 10 spots that you could pick your own counter, and as long as you had leveled up and unlocked that play, you could counter that play. Well, that's no more. So that was based on your progress and your playing the game, essentially. This year, it is different. This year, game plans are a buyable item. So they have live events that they sporadically have to get game plans, and then you could, for example, get bronzes and put them into a set and get silvers and put them into a set, and basically 25 bronzes equals a gold game plan as an example. So you could do that, but it's a buy or sell thing at the auction house or from packs, and occasionally they'll have an elite game plan as a bundle topper as an example. So it's become pay to play with that. It's one more thing that's less about rewarding you for playing the game, and it's more about uh, something to something to charge you for. Basically, is what it is. So I think that's turned a lot of people off, and it's also creates kind of this inequality, if you like, among the players where because you're not actually playing defense in this game. But if you could get the right kind of collectibles and work on that and whatever, it's going to give you a huge advantage. And I think it's in on balance, I think it's unfortunate. I do think that it was the right way to go to reward people in that way for putting their work in the game and then giving them 10 counter slots and 50 plays and counters. I think that was enough. But, that's what EA decided to do this year, greedy company that they are, and we just got to deal with it. It's made it more frustrating for people because for people who don't want to play the game on a more serious level, that kind of turns them off because there's this big disparity not only between overalls and teams and things of that nature, but also in terms of what counters the opponent has and things like that. So I just wanted to kind of talk about that aspect of it because a lot of people are frustrated and the game is more difficult. As far as I'm concerned, I'm very, very busy these days. I don't have as much free time as I had last year, so I'm not going to play as much as I did last year. But I'm still going to play a lot. And obviously, I just made P20, so I'm obviously playing quite a bit, but I'm not quite as involved in last year. Still enjoying the game though, and still liking it for what it is. In terms of me, I don't have the best team out there by any means. I don't play the auction house like some people do. I'm not a big fan of that. I just like playing the game. I don't like being on the auction house like all hours of the day. But all these great free players like, the tier 7s, or here's Gronk. My lineup. And he's pretty awesome, by the way. This year, I don't know what it is. He seems more elusive in game than the numbers would indicate. 61 elusiveness in there. And so my team right now, a lot of boosters on there, for sure. And still got a gold Patrick Chung on defense. But just picked up Von Miller. But I'm not doing too much, just in terms of, getting legends or anything like that at this time. I'm sure a player or two will come out that, I want to get. But basically, I'm just not upgrading as quickly as a lot of people are when these new players come out. I'm not usually the one to jump all over them and get the latest legends or signatures or anything like that. I just don't want to do that anymore. So, and I assume Road to the Playoffs is going to be coming out, and then along with Most Feared. And I'm most interested in Road to the Playoffs. And I mentioned this before because the team sets this year in the way that has worked, it seems to me that it's very likely that EA will have something for Road to the Playoffs similar to this that uses elite trophies. So I'm starting to try to build up those elite trophies. But basically, that what that would mean, and what I would guess these players would be 92 overalls, something like that. 91, 92 overalls with a boost. Probably a +1 boost. They probably won't make them as good as, say, the flashbacks with a +2 boost. So I doubt that they'll do that, but I guess we will see. But that is something I'd be interested in terms of doing upgrades, and then maybe if they have a master player or whatnot. Did get 17 players into doing Hopkins, but I just knew by this time, with my level of commitment this year, I wasn't going to be able to do 32 and unlock him. By the time I'd unlock him, the player would be irrelevant. And that's just a lot of elite trophies and a lot of resources to do. So that's it. Been talking a lot about things in general. BCA is finishing up. From what I heard, D'Angelo isn't as bad as I thought. Was just checking out some different players here. And they got this new search system, which is really cool, which you could search by program. About time that they did that. So D'Angelo here, and he's going for, I don't recall BCA Masters going for this low last year. Under 800,000 coins, 800,000 coins seems to be what he's going for. But I've heard this guy's pretty good, that he's pretty elusive. I definitely have enough strength boosters on my team to boost him up. What I don't really like about the player, though, you can compare him to Johnson. He's got a lot of green, and, he's got a better carry number. Maybe he wouldn't have fumbled for me last night. And he's very elusive. Trucking stats and speed and strength and catch, though, are not very good, and these are key, kind of crucial stats. So he's 93 halfback with +2 awareness and +2 strength. This is all good, but I don't think he's going to be a player that is going to have long shelf life. I really don't. Those are great boosts, double boosted player, but gameplay perspective, I think there's going to be better, faster running backs that are going to be coming out shortly. And if our experience the last 2 years is any indication, we should have a Thanksgiving Barry Sanders, maybe a couple running backs under Most Feared. So we'll kind of see how that goes. So BCA was a little disappointing this year. and they've ended the live events apparently. So now they're going to make it the type of thing for people who were thinking about doing D'Angelo, doing that set, but they weren't able to do it. They're going to have to scrounge around and try to get the pieces to do it from the packs. I've basically tried to make money off of it. I'd make some coins off of selling the gold players, but I have no interest whatsoever in the event this year. They really, as great as BCA was last year, they ruined it this year. And last year, Most Feared was one of my favorite events, I would definitely say. And I hope it's not the same, that it's also going to be ruined for this year. I hope it's going to do great. I hope they have more than one master player. We'll kind of see how it turns out, though. It'll be coming along. And that's a long video for the day. Just want to kind of talk about my thoughts about this game. We are all full up in our league, so not recruiting at this time. Mobile Madness. And we've got 32 members, ranked 520. We're trying to get better, trying to get up there. And we're pretty close. And we got DeMarco, as you saw, but we're pretty close to getting Eford as well. So that's pretty cool. And so that's it, guys. And thanks for watching.